Hello, hello. It's Business Partner, Unit 4, Lesson 1, Part A. It's business strategy connected to food industry strategies. This unit will be awesome. We'll talk about strategies, how to make things work, how to improve conditions of a company, how to make good projects and progress. Oh, by the way, I have my neighbor's dog barking a lot today. So sorry for the noise because it's really barking. But let's start. In this lesson, learners can use common verbs, nouns, and adjectives related to business and business strategy. Oh, this is wonderful, right? But the content is marvelous. We'll talk about important food companies and what the movements of the market are in order to create bigger companies with very good profit. Well, let's start by talking about this. Ketchup, breakfast cereal, instant coffee, and cookies. What do they have in common? They are food. No, this is a drink. They are sweet. No, this is not sweet. They are all processed food. Processed food. There's a doctor who says, he says like this in Portuguese: descasque mais, desempacote menos. Peel more, open less boxes. Something like this. The idea is try to eat natural food. Make good food or eat good food, not processed food. But what about food industry? They produce processed food, and this is a gigantic market. What do we eat? Do you use ketchup in your food? For example, do you prepare hot dog? I sometimes put some ketchup in the salad. Breakfast cereal. Do you eat like cornflakes or do you eat oat? Do you eat whole grain, grão integral, or smaller parts of a oat, for example, aveia integral, ou você usa já o flocos de aveia? Instant coffee or coffee in powder? And cookies. Do you eat cookies? And all that sugar and all those ingredients? We'll talk about this in this lesson, not about the health side of it, but basically about the industry itself. Think of some famous food brands. I remembered Kellogg's, Nestle. What others do you remember? What products do they make? Let's think about, all right? What trends have you noticed in the food industry in Brazil, in your country? Use some of the words in the box in your discussion. Famous food brands. Nestle is one. Ambev is another one. It's not food, it's drinks, right? Food prices. Are they going up? Are they going down? What is happening to prices in Brazil here? Health issues. Are there, what health issues are there connected to food and drinks? Do people talk about health issues like fat, what kind of fat there is in the food, how much fat, how many chemical ingredients. Organic food. Do people talk about organic food? Are there organic markets near where you live? Are people eating more or less organic food? Ready meals. Do people buy ready meals? iFood? Or do they buy them in supermarkets? What changes have there been in lifestyles? Do people eat frozen food? For example, they buy frozen and then they warm it up at home. Tell me about supermarket chains. Do they have their own brand food? Do they have special services? What things are there connected to supermarkets? Why are we asking this? Because the video is about that. Watch the video and which food companies are mentioned and what is the relationship between them. Ooh, what is there? We have basically 3 companies mentioned and they talk about something that happens between these companies. There's something very important. Well, you have access to the video, you can watch the video, and we can talk about that in the live lesson, all right? And then we have this video, watch the video again and complete the information. Use a minimum of 4 words in each gap. Well, I'm going to read this and then we can do this exercise during the live lesson because you have to watch the video for that, right? And you have access to the video. In the first decade of the 21st century, Kraft's performance, blah, blah, blah. It was seeing blah processed food and drinks decline. The second issue was Kraft relied too heavily on something. The company's third problem was its blah blah. Cadbury had a 200-year history. Its products were well established, blah blah blah. Because it became a bigger company, Kraft essentially blah blah blah. Heinz development of new product lines met blah blah blah. One immediate result was that the Kraft Heinz share price blah blah blah. So very important synthesis of what the video shows, but the video is awesome and I hope you like it very much. We also have this teacher's resource exercise, but it's heavily based on the video. And by reading these options, you are going to have an idea of what the video talks about. Let's read the options because we are going to do this during the live lesson. The US-based company Kraft has existed for more than 19 years, over a decade, or more than 90 years. A profit margin is the price you sell a product for. Is money you make from a sale, or what it costs to produce something. Kraft was missing business opportunities in emerging markets, in the US market, the European market. The chocolate maker was a successful American company, 200-year-old British company, interested in expanding its business internationally. Kraft's primary interest in Cadbury was that it enabled it to increase number of products, its profit margin, sales of Kraft's products. Kraft Heinz is now the world's largest food company, third largest or fifth largest. 7. Compared to Kraft, the food company Heinz was more innovative, profitable, successful at cutting costs. Irene Rosenfeld says, there were a number of folk that were questioning our acquisition of Cadbury. This means several people thought it was an excellent idea, had asked her lots of questions about it, or had expressed doubts about it. Well, these are wonderful discussions about the video you have to watch. After that, we have these two excellent questions to see how much we understood of the ideas here. Can you suggest other food companies that would be suitable partners for Kraft? Is consolidation in the food manufacturing industry inevitable? The video talks about that. And we are going to understand more by watching the video and why or why not consolidation is inevitable, right? But there's vocabulary, and we can talk more about vocabulary here. We have here to choose a word from each box to complete the phrases from the video. These are kind of collocations, right? Emerging, major, product, profit, takeover. Beat, lines, margin, markets, player. The point is that you are going to watch the video from the lesson, and why don't you watch the video and then you pause this video and try to do this matching, and then you play the video to see the answers, right? So after you watch the video and you tried to do this exercise, let's see. Emerging markets, right? Major player, product lines, profit margin, takeover beat. I think that you understand all these ideas here, but takeover beat is maybe something that is new. A bid is a licitação. Takeover bid would be like something like here. Where is it? Takeover bid. Oferta pública de aquisição. All right? This is it in Portuguese. Nice. So the Kraft Heinz company based in the USA is in the food industry. Is a major player, right? Why don't you pause the video again and try to complete the sentence? The amount of money it was making from every unit of sales had been squeezed. What's the meaning of squeezed? Shrunk, diminuído, right? So the profit margin. It was missing opportunities in fast-growing around the world, in fast-growing emerging markets around the world. It started with for the chocolate maker Cadbury. It started with a takeover bid for the chocolate maker Cadbury. Heinz was considered more innovative in its development of new product lines, right? These are all sentences from the video you watched. Very good video, by the way. I really liked. Match verbs 1 to 4 with nouns A to D and verbs 5 to 8 with nouns E to H to make collocations from the video. And we have develop, tackle, take, miss. What's the meaning of tackle? Tackle is lidar com, something like that. Opportunities, strategies, problems, risks. Easy? They are common collocations, by the way. What can you develop? You develop. Why don't you pause the video and try to do the exercise? Pause the video, play the video again. Develop strategies. You tackle problems. You take risks and you miss. Oh, please don't miss opportunities. Sometimes there are opportunities, and by getting qualified, you don't miss them. You take advantage of your qualifications and so on. Now again, we have make, come up with, solve, cut. And we have costs, a profit or money, plan, and problem. Come up with is a three-particle phrasal verb. Wow! Interesting, right? Come up with is vir com uma ideia, criar uma ideia, something like that. So let's see the matching. You pause again the video, do the exercise, and now you play. Let's see. You make a profit or make money by doing something. You come up with a plan. Come up with a plan. You solve problems and you cut costs, right? Oh, cutting costs, making money, good things, right? But this is by the use of good strategies. Wonderful lesson. After that, we'll have part B of the lesson with lots of other things, lots of vocabulary, using the vocabulary and having this wonderful project, right? So this is it for the video. Hope I see you in the live lesson after you watch this great video from Pearson. See you then. Bye-bye.